Your average video gamer buys one GPU every generation or multiple generations. Well, here at Frogboy X1 Gaming, just this generation, I have bought a total of 7 GPUs. 4 AMD GPUs and 3 Nvidia GPUs. Today's video, the purpose of today's video is to kind of talk about that experience across both AMD and Nvidia and try to give you the best insight that I can give you coming from a console experience, coming over to the PC gaming, and then completely committing, jumping in, buying what I could to try from the bottom of the stack all the way to the top, and try to give you a more accurate experience, an accurate window into my experience coming over to PC gaming, because I kind of feel in the overall, the overall PC thing, like just the whole world, what video games, everything these days. I think there's a lot of confusion out there, and I feel like a lot of that is driven by a need to want the best, or this or that, or just some weird belief that buying certain things are going to be the end all be all for the best experience out there. And the whole point of what I try to do here on Frogboy X1 Gaming is try to help people find the value, try to help people find what's going to be best for them. So let me name off those GPUs for you real quick. I bought the 7600 XT, paid $441 for that. The 7800 XT, I paid $549 for that. The 7900 XT, I paid $841 for that. This is including tax. 7900 XTX, $933. 4070, $641. 4070 Super, $641, and then 4080 Super, $1,179, for a total of $5,225 this generation, buying this generation GPUs so that I could learn everything I can about PC gaming and figure out exactly where I want to be in a product stack and what exactly is it that I need as an individual PC gamer to fully enjoy my experience. And then on top of that, I did the CPU upgrade, which ran $736 for the 7800 X3D and a B650 motherboard with new RAM for that at 6200 megahertz. So guys, that's a lot of money. The average gamer is going to spend at max $2,000 for the top of the line Nvidia GPU. And you're asking, but Frog, why didn't you just buy a 4090 and call it a day? Well guys, here's the thing. I've never just been one of those people to like climb in and start walking with the herd. I've always been kind of this lone wolf on the outskirts, doing my own thing, seeing what I like, and not necessarily just buying the best just to buy the best, unless of course it's a Sony camera. Then I'm a pony. So I did a lot of research when it came to like the camera stuff. So Sony was just through and through the best. And I agree. I watched a lot of videos on Canon. I watched a lot of videos on everything else, and that's why I came to that. But Frog, everybody says Nvidia is the best. You're right, and to an extent, I agree. I do agree that Nvidia is the best when it comes to what Nvidia does. Like they are the best at what Nvidia does. But I've also tried Team Red, my friends, and I think that AMD is the best at what AMD does. Now yes, you're right. How can they both be the best? Well, they can both be the best. Just like Nikon or Fujifilm or any of these other camera brands can be the best at a specific thing, Sony is the best for in-studio work. It's the best. that is where you want to be if you're doing studio work. Can you use the other ones? Absolutely. You can use any camera on the market to produce content. But what about video game cards? Well, yeah, Nvidia is the best at what it does. DLSS, making 4K look absolutely incredible. Nvidia is the best. But AMD is also the best at being able to downsample and be able to and be a feature-rich experience that gives you a ton of options to be able to do a lot more than what I think Nvidia can do. Yes, you can probably find some of these options in Nvidia, and I've been testing these guys. I've been going back and forth across AMD, you know, going to all the way down to like an entry-level AMD card. And the only reason I went that low on that and didn't do that for the Nvidia with the 4060 is because I literally started Nvidia on a 3050 Ti, and then I went to a 3060 Ti, and then you see where I'm going with this. Like, I've already tried like an entry-level Nvidia GPU, so this generation I wanted to try an entry-level AMD GPU, and I gotta say, guys, and here's the thing that I've learned the most about PC gaming since I started PC gaming, guys. It doesn't matter really where you start. You're either going to be happy and impressed with what you have, or you're going to feel like you should have got more. And I'll tell you, I'll give you kind of an example. When I started getting into the cameras, I bought the Sony ZV-1F. Because I was like, all right, I want to try a camera. Everybody else is doing it. I want to try it. I want to see. So I dipped my toe and I bought a cheap one. I spent like $400 on the camera, you know? And then after like making the first video with that, I was like, I need a better one. So I ran out and I bought the Sony EV10. And I was like, yeah, this camera's awesome. And it got to the point where I was like, all right. I stopped. I sat back. I did a bunch of research and I ended up with the FX30. So yeah, like I'm that kind of person that, like, you know, wants to be able to just jump head in and get the best. But, you know, there's like my buddy Doc Dark says, there's levels to this, guys. You're going to spend a whole bunch of money, you know, when you get into PC gaming. Whether you like it or not, there's definitely an upfront cost that is associated with getting into PC gaming. You're going to have to spend a good enough amount to get something that's going to outpace your console experience, because you're going to want it to do that, and you're still going to want it to be able to perform better than that. So if you're getting into PC gaming at like a 7600 XT, 4060 Super, both of those GPUs are going to outpace your consoles, but that's going to be a tug of war. That's going to be a tug of war. Your consoles are going to perform very good on certain games, and your GPU is going to be in the 1080p class or the 1440p class or the 4K class, and you might be scratching your head, because I made a video and I'm planning on making another video to show you how you can get your PS5 and your Xbox Series X to perform and look good like it would on a PC. You just have to get an OLED monitor for that to be possible, but you're going to have that tug of war. The only way to really pull past that is to start with a mid-range, and there's a lot of options for mid-range. You've got really strong 30 series cards and 6000 series cards from AMD, and you've got what they're offering right now in the 40 series cards and the 70 and the 7000 series cards. We're at the precipice, we're at the dawn of a new generation coming out here in the next few months. Obviously, you're going to get a new GPU from Nvidia. You're going to get new ones from AMD. Now the question is, after spending $5,225 on GPUs, have I truly learned enough to be able to form my own opinions on PC gaming, and in turn be able to provide advice to my community or to people in the community? Am I qualified enough after spending and testing and utilizing this? Have I been able to form my own opinion, and is that opinion valuable to other people? Now, the reason why I asked that question is because I continue to get, feedback from gamers in the community, and I know a lot of it is just like, hey man, we're just trying to help you. I get that. Obviously, you guys can see I'm pretty pig-headed, and I like to, you know, research things at my own pace and try to figure things out. I'm a visual type of learner, guys. Like, I have to see things and do it to learn it. I can't just be told how to do something. I have to literally, I have to want to focus on doing that, and then I have to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that might sound weird or whatever, but I have to want to do something, and I have to be open-minded about it to be able to get in there and do it. And it's one of those things where until I stumble upon something, I don't really go out of my way to try to learn that. Now, for the last couple of days, I've really tried to focus on creating better sound for the channel and better video. Obviously, you know, I've invested heavily in the audio. I've invested heavily in the video quality for the channel. These are things that are really important right now. But when we talk about PC gaming, and I know, like, I'm using the camera analogy in here a lot because that's the newest thing that I'm trying to learn how to do above and beyond what PC is and stuff. And so I just wanted to kind of contrast that experience with me starting with a low-end budget one and then moving all the way up to a high-end camera. And I'm still not even as high-end as you can go, but I have exactly what I need for the specific needs for this channel going forward. I have exactly what we need. So when I look at the GPU market and I look at the different entry points into the GPU market, the funny thing is, guys, is FSR is good, DLSS is good, XESS is good. All of these upscalers are very good and definitely can pump out more than a console experience, image quality wise. Then you have frame generation technologies. You also have other technologies like downsampling to lower resolutions. From a higher resolution, you have, gosh, you have so much. You have a lot more control over what you can do with your experience. So PC is one of those things, my friends, where once you get into it and once you truly focus and like once it like grabs you, it really changes the experience. It really like gives you something to like it's crazy. It really is crazy how it completely changes the whole experience of gaming for you. No longer are you forced to have to choose, unless you like, the only way you're forced to choose now is if you wherever you buy in. Like right now I'm at the high end of PC cards testing. This is where I'm at. And the higher up you go, the less sacrifices you have to make. When you're at the 7600 XT or 3060 level, you got to make sacrifices. You have to use upscaling if you want 4K. You have to use lower settings if you want higher frame rates. You have to make sacrifices at that level to try to get to 4K or 1440p. But those sacrifices are yours to make. Like, you get to make those decisions on how you want to proceed completely. Now, when you get into mid-range, then if you play at 1440p, you're good, you're golden, you're set. If you got a 1440p monitor, 99% of the time you've got native resolution and you've got a great playable experience with pretty high, like I would say almost every game you could max out at ultra settings on the last two generations of mid-range GPUs. You usually can do that. But if you really want a no compromise experience on 4K, you are basically at a point right now, PC gaming wise, where I don't really think there's a no compromise 4K experience right now. Like, I just don't think that exists just yet. I think we might be a generation or two away from that. But 4090 is dang near close. Like, that is pretty close. 7900 XTX is pretty close. 4080 Super is pretty close. These GPUs easily deliver an experience above and beyond what you can ever imagine on your consoles. At least until the PlayStation 5 comes out and makes all these cards obsolete in one day. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait for the new PlayStation 5 Pro. I think it's going to be incredible. It's going to be better than a 4090, I hear. So that is going to be incredible. We're gonna love that. Yes, that was sarcastic. I know that some of you guys out there don't freaking seem to get my sarcasm because I'm a little bit too serious when I do it, but that's fine, guys. I don't know, man. I started this video today because I really wanted to talk about PC gaming, and I wanted to talk about my experience, and I wanted to give you guys, it's like, look, guys, I've spent $5,225. I think I'm qualified to talk about my PC experience. I don't care about some other YouTubers' PC experience. I don't care about some other YouTubers' way of doing things. I don't care. I play my PC as a consumer. I'm a consumer, just like you, just like everybody else. We are consumers. I buy the stuff that I want to see. I took advantage of the fact that I have a channel to really push the boundaries and really try to find out where I want to be in PC gaming. And I mean, going forward from right here, I could easily go back down to a mid-range card and pretty much probably be consistent with the experience that I'm having right now, or I could go up a little more. You know what I mean? Or I could continue to go up. I don't know just yet what I'm going to do. I mean, part of me wants to just be like, all right, you got a 7900 XTX, you got a 4080 Super, just see how long they last. But then part of me is like, man, I want to buy the new card so I can get the views, so I can cover it, so I can be right there day one, all of that stuff, because it's exciting. It's new tech, and I want to see it, and I want to touch it, and I want to get it in my patty cakes, and I want to squeeze it. Just like everybody else, man. Like, that's the thing. I am excited about this stuff. I am hyped about PC gaming. But at the same time, the sponsor of today's video, my wallet, is not really as good as, it's not as flush as it used to be anymore. Like, it's not. Like, I'm not necessarily running out of money, but gosh dang, man, like, this gets expensive, and it's one of those things where I did what I did this generation, and this is what I literally have to keep telling myself. I did what I did this generation to learn, and that's fine. Like, I feel like I did a lot of learning. A lot of my focus is kind of turning towards photography and video and making and stuff like that. So I have hardcore, high quality freaking PC content or PC hardware, but the photography and the video, man, oh my gosh, like, this stuff gets expensive too. And it's like, what do I want to do? Do I want to invest in PC stuff, or do I want to invest in camera side? Do I want to do, you know what I mean? So now I'm torn because I literally have two equally expensive monsters that both like new freaking stuff. PC likes new stuff every 2 years. Cameras like stuff every couple of years. I don't know, guys. I feel like this is just getting expensive, so I'm going to have to start e-begging and begging for money. I'm going to have to start begging. I'm just joking. But, all right, my friends. Yeah, PC gaming, man. I feel like if you take anything away from this video, if you watched it this far, I started PC gaming as a necessity for the channel. I never had any desire or any real kind of like, burning sensation to get on PC. I never did. I didn't care. I was comfortable in my bubble with my Xbox and my PlayStation, fighting over which one is taller or which 864p is better than the other 964p. I was perfectly okay with that, and I probably could have lived there sheltered for a very long time. I could have. But now I see what PC has to offer, and I'm just like, my gosh, man, like, whew, does it ever end? And I don't know. I don't know if there's ever an end. I don't know if there's ever going to be light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to PC gaming. I feel like it could keep going and going and going because obviously it moves so fast and there's so much coming out. I guess basically the moral of this story is if you get into PC gaming, try to find a comfortable spot. Try to find a good spot where you feel good money-wise, where you feel good tech-wise. Because the truth is, the lower-end cards and the higher-end cards, the visuals all still look the same. The only thing that really changes is you know, like ray tracing performance and performance in general. That's, I mean, I can get the exact same visual quality out of a 7600 XT as I can out of a 7900 XTX at 4K. Same goes for a 4060 Super all the way up, or 4060 all the way up to a 4090. I can still get the same visual quality from those cards, but one of them is going to give me more performance and the other one is going to let me have higher settings. Well, I mean, 4090 is pretty big gap from a 4060, so maybe a 4080 Super I can get the same visuals, but you know, obviously I'm going to get better ray tracing and better performance out of a higher end card. So at the end of the day, you just want to find your comfort zone, whatever makes you happy. I honestly recommend the screen. Start with the screen. Get the best screen that you can afford, because that has a lot to do with the overall visual quality that you're going to get out of any card. If you got a terrible screen, you're going to get a terrible experience. So make sure you pay attention to your screen, and then the rest, just get what you can afford and be happy, because PC gaming is awesome. It is awesome, and it looks incredible. Even at lower settings, it still looks good. So yeah, my friends, that's pretty much the moral of today's story. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.